Welcome to the Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business, Ways to Achieve Financial Literary Success course. This is a companion course to the book, Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business, Ways to Achieve Financial Literary Success, written by your course instructor, Joylynn M. and published by Path to Publishing, a trade name of End of the Rainbow Projects, Inc., where our aphorism is, how long will we continue to wait at the end of the rainbow before realizing that we, in fact, are the pot of gold? Your gold mind, your thoughts, your ideas, your concepts, your books and publications is your gold mine. About this course. Do you want to make money with your book? Do you want to make a living as an author? There's more to doing so than simply writing and publishing your book. In this Think Outside the Book presentation, learn how to make money as an author other than royalties and book sales. First, we'll break down the difference between literary success and financial literary success. And from there, we'll focus strictly on ways that authors can make a living as an author, can make money as an author, can achieve financial literary success. What you will learn in the Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business, Ways to Achieve Financial Literary Success course is how to start making money with your book and literary business now. You will learn how to maximize and monetize your role as an author, and you will learn the 6 categories to base your money-making efforts on. Your course instructor, AKA literary chauffeur, yours truly, national best-selling author, Joylynn M. I have experience in the literary industry as a self-published author, a traditionally published author, even a POD, print-on-demand author. I have experience as an editor, both freelance and with major publishing houses, as well as independent publishing houses. Ghostwriter, again, both freelance and with major publishing houses, as well as some independent publishers. I have experience as a literary consultant, as a matter of fact, over a decade of experience. And I'm also a literary agent with clients who have book deals with Kensington, Simon & Schuster, and Urban Books, just to name a few. I've been doing one-on-one literary consulting, like I mentioned, for over a decade. And not only have I self-published my own books, but I have assisted countless authors in publishing their books and building their book business. Clients include new authors, vet authors, New York Times and national best-selling authors, entrepreneurs, business owners, CEOs, as well as entertainers. With over 2 decades of experience in the literary industry, I have seen almost every mistake that an author could possibly make. My friends, you're looking at someone right here in this image on this screen who has pretty much made all of those mistakes, okay? And so I find it so satisfying and so gratifying that I am able to assist others in avoiding the potholes that could leave them stuck and broken down on the side of the road during their literary journey, just ready to throw in the towel or ready to throw in the pen, ready to give up this quote unquote writing thing. My friends, that is my journey. That is my passion. That is my job. That is my calling. That is my assignment, to make sure I instill in you everything you need to equip you, to empower you with as many tools and resources as I possibly can for you to reach both your measure of literary success and your measure of financial literary success. Now, I know some of you may be saying, okay, she keeps saying literary success. She keeps saying financial literary success. What's the difference? Trust me, we'll get into that soon enough. So let's get started. Literary success versus financial literary success. See, I told you we get into it soon enough. What is literary success? Literary success is what I like to say is it feeds the ego of authors. It feeds our creative side. It focuses on setting a goal to a certain number of books, more so as a personal benchmark, the feeling of success it will bring rather than the financial gain itself. It can sometimes even be for notoriety purposes, for the author to be able to state they sold X number of books in maybe X number amount of days, months, or even years. Literary success may also be something like wanting to or being satisfied with simply touching the life of just one reader. It could be just seeing your book on the shelves in your local bookstore, or a chain like Barnes and Nobles, or reaching #1 best-selling status on Amazon, things of that nature. It can be a form of literary success. And not necessarily financial literary success, because anyone who has ever hit a bestsellers list knows that it absolutely does not guarantee financial gain, okay? Especially if the author is traditionally published. They may make the bestsellers list, but still be in the hole when it comes to their publishing advance. When I got my first book deal with a major publishing house, I experienced both literary and financial literary success. Even though I'd done very well selling my books as a self-published author, and even though I'd managed to get my self-published books in major bookstore chains and libraries, I wanted to be able to declare that I was a published author with one of the big 7. And it was 7 at the time. Okay, one of the New York publishing houses, the big 7, which are now the big 5, going on the big 4, maybe. I don't know, with all of the mergers, who can keep count anymore? But for me, this meant being sent on an all expense paid book tour that included staying in hotels, transportation, and room service, none of which benefited me financially, but it still made me feel successful. And it was a level of success I dreamed my books would provide. Along with that big book deal with one of the big 7 came a big check. Now we're talking financial literary success, my friends. So, what is financial literary success? It focuses more on the business of writing and publishing, creating a money-making writing career and literary business, usually to the point in which it enables the writer to earn the money needed to thrive financially. Financial literary success can include the ability to live a life of financial freedom, being able to support one's family, donate to charity and causes they believe in, and political campaigns, and take vacations. Like I said, when I got my book deal with one of the big 7 at the time, it came with a big check, but I couldn't care less about the accolades and notoriety when it came to that big check. It was all about the Benjamins, okay? I must admit, though, I was a young writer early in my career and had no idea about the business of writing and publishing, and how investing back into my writing career and book business was a sure way to keep me on the path of success. So, needless to say, the feeling of financial literary success wasn't long-lived for me with that big book deal. But I've lived and I've learned, And now that I've learned the difference between literary success and financial literary success and how to achieve them both and build a successful career as a writer and have a thriving book business, which I like to refer to as my literary empire, my friends, my fellow literary artists and colleagues, literary entertainers, writers, and creators, I am bound and determined to teach you how to do it as well. The great thing is that as writers, we don't have to choose between literary success or financial literary success. We can have them both. I want the world. I want the whole world. Okay, anyone who knows me knows I'm not some serious businesswoman, but I am definitely serious about my business. I like to laugh and learn. I mean, trying to build these empires and reach our measure of success is serious enough, okay? So we got to be lighthearted with this. Yeah, we got to have thick skin. We have to be dedicated and committed, but we can have fun while we are doing this as well. So maybe your measure of literary success and your measure of financial literary success doesn't include having the whole world, but I definitely want it to be everything you could possibly imagine and then some. Pathfinders, we are the example. Like our tagline says, pathfinders, we are paving the way in literary success. That includes financial literary success. And I'm not saying we are paving the way to. Be clear, we are paving the way in literary success. We are paving the way in writing success. We are paving the way in publishing success. That means we're in it. We're doing it. We are the example, okay? All righty. So what is the course focus? Financial literary success, of course. Did you know that one of the top reasons authors don't achieve financial literary success is because of, you guessed it, money, either the lack thereof or misdirecting the money needed to reach their literary goals, dreams, visions, measure of literary success, financial literary success. I'm sure you've heard the term. It takes money to make money. So when we talk about the lack of money, not necessarily not having any money, but not budgeting for success. Okay? How did you budget? I want you to stop and ask yourself right now. If you've already written, published books, or you're in the thick of it, if you haven't started, great. I love it when individuals decide, hey, I want to learn as much as I can before the process or during the process. But I want you to ask yourself this question and be honest. Did you budget for success? What did your budget look like? And I'm talking beyond a marketing budget, a budget to write your book, a budget to build your book, a budget for editing. Did you budget for success? And what does that look like to you? Did you budget to win? Coaching, consulting, did you budget? What does winning look like to you? And how did you include that in your plan to, again, reach your measure of literary success and financial literary success? And speaking of having coaching and consulting and taking courses and going to conferences, and we all love those amazing conferences that are geared more for the reader experience, those festivals, those book fairs, again, conferences that are geared more for the reader's experience. Although we love it and we love reaching out and meeting and networking with our readers because they are our literary heartbeat. My friends, you have to be the brain of your book business. The readers can be our literary heartbeat, but we have to be the brain of our book business. And so we have to invest in conferences that are strictly focused on the enhancement of our knowledge in our craft and in our industry. Okay? So misdirecting money, not appropriating the money to where it really needs to be spent, not using it for the right thing. Again, which is why working with a literary consultant, a publishing coach like myself, attending conferences like the Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business conference. That is not a shameless plug at all. There is no shame in my game. It is the premier publishing conference, the premier publishing conference, because it gets results, and it is absolutely geared toward helping authors reach their measure of literary success, financial literary success, and whatever their dreams, vision, and goals are with their books and as an author. But a lot of times we don't budget for success. We don't include those things, and we misdirect the money to place it to things that aren't going to help us reach those goals, aren't going to get us any closer, or maybe a nudge, maybe a baby step. But pathfinders take quantum leaps, okay? We take quantum leaps, okay? So definitely those things should be a part of your plan to achieve financial literary success. Thinking the only way to make money as an author is through book sales and royalties. Big, big mistake. The money isn't in the book as much as it is in the multiple streams of income you create from the book. Let me say that again, my friends, because I spent the first decade of my literary career focusing on book sales and royalties alone, exhausting myself, okay? That was one of the biggest mistakes I could have ever made. And that is something I definitely want to keep you from doing. Yes, book sales and royalties are great. That is the product. That is the product. But as writers, as authors, as creators, we are more than our product. So, ways to start making money with your book now. I promised you that's what you would learn in this course. And I deliver what I promise, typically more than I promise. But hey, that's just how I move. That's how I operate. So by maximizing, optimizing, and monetizing your role as an author, you can start making money with your book now. And by thinking outside the book. Okay? Let's break that down. Let's break that down. Maximize, optimize, monetize. Because I know you guys hear me saying that. If anyone has followed me on social media, if you've taken any of my other courses, you hear me say it like it's scripture. It actually is scripture in my literary Bible. Thank you very much. But you have to maximize, optimize, and monetize your role as an author. Okay, so let's define that maximize, optimize, and monetize that I'm always throwing around, rarely giving the definition. Maximize, make as large or great as possible to make the most of something. So think about doing the most as an author, okay? When you think about maximizing, think about doing the most as an author, like you are some freaking literary rock star, like you are the big deal, you absolutely are. I always say that whoever came up with the term triple threat, they either couldn't count or they stopped counting. We know they include acting, we know they include singing, we know they include dancing, but what about writing? What about being an author? I'm talking quadruple threat. I should just start a movement with that. Triple threat. Are you going to leave out the writers, the creators, the ones where the actors, the singers, and the dancers more than likely wouldn't have their crafts and career without us as creatives and writers? Oh, don't get me started on that one. But that's what I mean, guys. Maximize who you are as an author. Okay, you are a big deal. Your writings, your books, your publications, they have just as great of an impact on society as film, as music, as dance. And if the world don't know, now they know, and you make sure they know. And that's what I mean by maximizing. Do the most, okay? Be the most. You are the most. All right. Optimize, to make the best or most effective use of. To make as perfect, effective, or functional as possible. So, are you functioning as an author? I need you to ask yourself that. Am I functioning as an author? Are you? Okay, you wrote the book, yes, but that's just one of the duties of being an author. That's just one of the duties, writing the book, okay? Your job as an author is not finished just because you finished writing the book. What actions are you taking in your role as an author? And are they being effective? Again, ask yourself. Get that notepad out, press pause, and ask yourself these questions and answer them honestly, okay? You finished writing the book, now what? What actions are you taking to reach your measure of success, to reach your measure of literary success and financial literary success? And what you're doing, is it effective? Do you know what you're doing? Are you documenting it? Are you keeping track? Or are you just doing things guerrilla style? Okay, it's okay for us to have a hustle mentality, but we've got to treat this like a business. We can call it our hustle, our side hustle, our book hustle, but we have to treat it like a business. Are you documenting the things you are doing so that you know whether or not they are effective? Or are you just hustling? It's okay to have the hustle mindset, the grind mindset, and all of that, but please don't treat this like a hustle and doing things guerrilla style without documenting and knowing what's working, what's being effective, what's functional, okay? How do you know? How do you know if the things you are doing are functional, are effective? How are you measuring the outcome of your optimization? Okay? How are you measuring the outcome of your optimization? All right. This is a course. You guys knew there was going to be homework. Yes, indeed, there's going to be homework. And these are not rhetorical questions I am asking you to ask yourself. I really want you to take time to ask yourself these things and answer them honestly. It's your honest answers that are going to give you clarity on focus on what you need to do to continue to thrive, to continue to thrive along your literary journey. So let's talk about money, 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 money. I won't hit that high note for y'all and mess up y'all's eardrums, okay? But monetization, monetize, to earn revenue from, to convert into or express in the form of currency. I love that word, convert into currency, because that's what I'm talking about, people. When I'm talking about your gold mind, I'm talking about converting it into currency so that it becomes your gold mind, okay? Monetization. And again, although that's pretty self-explanatory, let me just make the distinction that monetizing your role as an author has nothing to do with book sales and royalties. I repeat, monetizing your role as an author has nothing to do with book sales and royalties. That's monetizing your book. Again, that's a whole nother lesson, a whole nother course. All right. But are you monetizing you? Are you monetizing yourself? Are you monetizing your role, your honor, your privilege, and your assignment as an author, as a carrier of messages? Are you monetizing you? Okay. Businesses don't make money. People do. Your book business, your literary business, you are the person who needs to make money from it, for it. Okay. And from it. Okay. You have to monetize you, not just the book, but you, my friend. Because you, my friend, are more than an author. You are so much more than a person who wrote a book, who authored a book. You are a teacher. You are an instructor. You are a lecturer. You are an expert expert witness. Yes, absolutely. You are a messenger. And I know some of you are saying expert witness, depending on your book and how you've connected the expertise, the subject matter, the theme you shared in your book, you could absolutely be considered an expert. And this could be for fiction or nonfiction. I remember years ago when I got into the literary industry, there was a fellow author, and I remember her first name being Brenda, and I remember the cover of her book had a basketball on it. It had something to do with basketball and infidelity, and it was a novel. It was fiction. And she was able to create this based upon her experience in working in the sports arena, not the arena itself, but the sports industry. Okay. And so God rest his amazing, beautiful soul when Kobe Bryant found himself having to do a press conference after he had cheated on his wife, and it was all over CNN and it was all over ESPN. They reached out to this fiction author to serve as an expert. I'll never forget turning on CNN and ESPN and seeing her as an expert with her fiction novel that she wrote about athletes cheating on their wives. That was one of the things. That was one of the subject matters. So when that situation with Kobe Bryant hit the news media, she connected her fiction book to what was happening in the news. And see, I really want fiction authors to get this, because a lot of fiction authors feel as if they have to be nonfiction authors to achieve the measure of financial literary success that a nonfiction author can, because they're so much easier. They're not easier, but their society tends to look at them as more as experts because they have this nonfiction. But she was a fiction author. Yes, indeed. So expert witnesses, experts in general, and all of which you can add the word paid in front of. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Adding the word paid in front of or behind. A paid to teach, paid to instruct, paid to lecture, paid to be an expert, paid to be an expert witness. Path to Publishing's marketing director, Ned Barnett, who is also one of our marketing companions, he's been paid to be an expert witness. I believe the last he was offered may have been about $750 an hour. And before he was paid $500 an hour to serve as an expert on marketing. Okay. So, oh my goodness. The sky is not the limit. There is no limit on how you can optimize and maximize and monetize your experience, your expertise, the subject matters you are writing about. Because again, fiction writers, I write fiction and I write nonfiction, but when I'm writing fiction, I tend to write what I know. I tend to write what I've experienced in my life, or what those around me, people around me, what they've experienced. I've interviewed other individuals, yes, even for my fiction. So I tend to write about what I know first, and then I research what I don't know, and then I make up all the rest. But within writing what I know about and within doing my research, I become an expert to a degree. I'm interviewing people, I'm doing my research, I'm traveling. So think about what you're writing about. Think about your themes and your subject matters and how it goes beyond the book. Think outside the book when it comes to reaching your measure of financial literary success. The book sales will follow your teaching. The book sales will follow your instruction. The book sales will follow your lecture. I remember the first time I got paid to lecture. It was for about 45 minutes, and it was $1,225 at the Ohio State University. And I lectured based on my street lit book. Yes, I lectured based on my urban street lit fiction book. And that was, I want to say, about 15 years ago. And 15 years ago, the Ohio State University paid me $1,225 for a 45-minute lecture. I don't even tell you what I charge now and what you should be charging now for your genius. Okay? For your genius. When you're down, when you're brain dumping and downloading your genius into someone else. Okay? Get paid for it. That's how you reach your measure of financial literary success. That's how you reach your literary dreams, visions, and goals. Think outside the book and think outside the bookstores, my friend. There are dozens of other places besides bookstores you should be selling your book. And you can see the list below of just a few of those places: gift shops, churches, prisons, military, corporations, businesses, car dealerships, wineries. I could go on and on and on and on. Like, seriously, one of our pathfinders, the Path to Publishing Tribe, that's what we call ourselves. We're pathfinders. Like I said, paving the way in literary success. We just celebrated her recently getting her greeting cards. Those of you who write poetry, yes, even poetry books can help you reach your measure of financial literary success. So turning those poetry books, those poems, into greeting cards, and then getting them into gift shops, hospital gift shops. And like our Pathfinder did, she got her greeting cards into a museum. Yes, her greeting cards are now being sold in a museum. Oh, and of course, libraries. Libraries are your friends. Libraries are, they should definitely be a part of your plan to achieve your measure of financial literary success. Just imagine starting, let's just start local. Let's just think about your local library branch. I'm here in the still fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. So let's think about the Las Vegas library. If I got one book, one copy of my book in each of their branches. And of course, we know with the libraries, they can, you can put a book on hold. They'll ship the book from library to library. But just imagine if you could get one copy of your book on the shelves of libraries. And do you know that most readers, if they really enjoy your book, they're going to go out and buy the book for themselves when they return it to the library. Okay. Or they're going to go back and buy your other books. So getting your books into the libraries, it's key. It has to be, it has to be a part of your plan to reach financial literary success. And again, just talking about thinking outside the book and thinking outside the bookstores, because when we think bookstores, we think readers. Okay, we think readers. I want you to think beyond readers. Readers are not your only customers. Okay, again, focus on book buyers versus just readers. When I hear authors make that pitch, do you like to read, or do you read science fiction, or do you read romance, or do you read Christian fiction, or do you read urban books? Who gives a crap whether they read or not? Make the pitch. Make the pitch. Okay? It's not always about readers. It's about book buyers. I've done enough book signings in my literary career where people have told me, well, I'm not a reader, but my sister loves to read. Literally, someone came to my table at the time. I had 12 books in my now 14-book New Day Diva series, which I write under the name E.N.Joy. I had 12 books at the time. And she said, I'm going to buy, I want one of each. And can you autograph them to my sister? She wasn't a reader, but she was a book buyer. So we've got to stop being laser focused on only book sales and royalties. We have to stop being laser focused on only getting our books in bookstores. And we have to stop being laser focused on only focusing on readers. Readers are not our only customers and clients. Again, book buyers. Yeah, we want to focus on our readers. Again, our literary heartbeat. Thump, 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 thump. We love them. They're the wind beneath our literary wings. But again, we have to be the brain of our business. We have to be the brain of our business and think outside of readers and start thinking about book buyers, okay? These businesses, these organizations, these foundations, these nonprofits, the content inside of our books and publications can serve their clients, okay? So think outside the book, think outside the bookstores, and think outside of readers. Think outside the book. More about that. Okay. Personal story here. For years, I didn't want to move from the position I was in, which was an author sitting behind a table selling books. After all, this is what I thought the path to making a living as a writer looked like. Writing books and selling them. Then I learned better. And as the saying goes, when you know better, you do better. I realized that if I wanted to make a living as a writer, if I wanted to build a literary empire, if I wanted to not only leave a legacy, but also create generational wealth for my family, I had to think outside the book and move my butt from behind that table of books. Okay? Yes, we love those 6-foot table and 2 chairs we get whenever we sign up to vend at, again, usually festivals and book fairs geared for the reader's experience. But at some point, you have got to level up. You have got to level up your literary career and your book business. If you are that author who is so focused on book sales and royalties that you are hunting down any and every place to be a vendor, finding yourself constantly sitting behind that table of books, then it's time you move. It's time you move as well. Stop hiding behind your book. Yes, your book speaks volumes for you as an author, but as an author, you have to speak for your book as well. Speak, be a messenger, be a teacher, be a lecturer, be an instructor. You have to speak for your book. You have to speak for the message within the pages. And when it comes to desiring literary success and financial literary success, you too, again, must think outside the book. Once I thought outside of those books and realized I had a mission and a purpose beyond selling books, hustling books, going to book fairs, going to book festivals, that my mission, that my purpose, that my desires, that my wants was bigger than that. I had to think outside of the book. And when I did, I had to think outside of the book. I had to move myself from behind those books. And when I did, my entire literary career took a huge shift and a quantum leap towards success. But I had to learn what literary success was, what it was for me, what financial literary success was, what it was for me, what success in general, personal, business, financial, spiritual, emotional. I had to learn those things for myself. And that is what you need to do as well. Like I said, this is a course. Okay. We may be doing this on Zoom, and Zoom may call it a webinar, but I'm here to teach, speak, and preach. Okay. And with a course comes homework. Do the work. Do the work I'm asking you. Answer these questions I'm asking you. Begin to write down these goals. And I need you to remember this. Goals are just that. They're goals. They're what you want. They're what you desire. Maybe they're what you need. But a goal is nothing without a plan. Okay? A goal is nothing without a plan. And a plan is nothing without action. Nothing without action. So remember that. Goals, plans, action. There are 6 categories to base your money-making efforts on. Well, there's more than 6, but for the sake of this course, we're going to focus on 6. Those are the 6 that I actually focus on in the book in much greater detail. So those 6 categories we're going to focus on is marketing, publicity, rights, publishing, sales, author, task, which I like to call a job description. I tell people all the time, if you want the job of an author, then you need to know your job description. That's why I created this course. That's why I created this book. When I hand people the book, Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business, Ways to Achieve Financial Literary Success, baby, I'm handing you your job description as an author. That's exactly what it is. So let's break this down just a wee bit. Like I said, it's broken down in far more depth in the book. But I'm not one of those people who like dangling carrots. Got to go get the book. You got to get the book. If you want to know this, if you want to know that, yeah, you can go get the book to learn it more in depth. But I need to get you jump started. I need to get you on the path to financial literary success right now, today, in this moment. I promised a now. I'm giving you a now. Okay. So with marketing, I need you to do your market research. Okay. Do your market research. Think about holiday marketing and do something every day. So with market research, you can go to Amazon.com. You can go into a bookstore. You can go into a library and begin to research the market, the genre, the type of author you are, and compare what you're doing to what's been done and what's working and what's not working. Okay, think about your book. Think about the genre. And again, go to Amazon and pull up books that are in your genre. Pull up books that are similar to you. Pull up authors' books that are similar to your style even. And get an idea of what their covers look like. Get an idea of what their reviews are saying, what their sales rankings are, what they're pricing their book, how many books have they sold, the genre, how well is the genre doing, how well is it not doing. So market research may sound like this big, huge, fuzzy, scary, beast, but it's really not. It's just that easy. And I'm giving you the short side of marketing. Okay. I'm giving you your starting. I need you to be able to start and do what you need to do now. Okay. And then your holiday marketing. Think about all the different holidays and all the different seasons and how can you connect yourself and your book. Okay. Not just your book, but yourself. You are a being with genius outside of your book, okay? The book sales will follow you as the person, as the author. So think about how you can connect you to holiday marketing. Let's talk about spring. Connecting the book, maybe the book is new adult, okay? New adult, we still call it a new genre, even though it's probably about a decade old now. We have children's books, and that's a whole nother breakdown because you have children's picture books, you have children's story books. I mean, that's a whole nother breakdown, a whole nother course. But you have children's, you have middle grade, you have young adult, and then you have new adult, and then you have adult. For, like I said, up until about the last decade or so, readers would usually just have to go from their young adult right into adult books, okay? And so what is new adult? New adult, it targets those who are seniors in high school going through college. So that was a market that was missing, dealing with life for that, that 18-year-old that's graduating high school and now they have their college years. There wasn't really a market for new adults, okay, for new adults for a very long time. So let's say you have a new adult book and it's springtime, which means it's graduation time. Woohoo! Okay, think about how to market your new adult book towards those new adults that are now graduating, maybe even putting together graduation gift baskets with your book. You as an author, how do you connect yourself to holiday marketing, to spring marketing? You as the person, you as the author, again, commencement speeches, it doesn't have to be for some big university like the Ohio State University or anything like that. We've had Pathfinders do the commencement speeches for charter schools, for private schools. Okay. Oh my goodness. I really could go on and on. And I do go on and on in my full courses. But again, oh my gosh, I just want to light a fire under you guys to get going. I'm not so much as to inspiring you as I am inciting you. And you can probably hear that from the passion in my voice. I'm kind of hard. I'm kind of quick. I get real passionate because I want to incite you more than inspire you. You can go to YouTube and get inspired. Les Brown has videos, Tony Robbins, they all have these wonderful inspirational videos, but my job is to incite you. Okay, inspirational. I've been inspired and it's very emotional and I love it. But some of us, we don't know how to take our inspiration to incitement and move. Being incited, it's an action. You put action behind that emotion. And so my job is to incite you and give you the stuff you need to at least get started and soar. If you never read any of my books, if you never take any of my courses, if you don't join my membership site, any of that, I know I'm giving you stuff to help you soar, to help you launch, okay, accelerate your literary career, to increase your book sales. I know because I don't like wasting my time and I definitely don't like wasting anybody else's. So the last thing I would do is to have you take out an hour and a half or however long of your time to attend this course and not give you what you need, not give you things that I know work. They work when you work them, and it goes back to action. So we've talked about marketing, and I mentioned marketing. Do something every day. Do something every day. It doesn't have to be big and huge. What a lot of people don't know is that Chicken Soup for the Soul, okay, both of the co-authors, they did something 5 times. They did 5 things a day. Yeah, they did 5 things a day for 2 years to market, to bring attention to their book, to themselves as authors. They did 5 things a day for 2 years before their book made New York Times. That was one of their goals. That was a measure of literary success they wanted to reach. So for 2 years straight, between the both of them, they did 5 things a day. So I'm not telling you have to do 5 things a day, but do something every day. Do something every day. Even if it's going to the park and sitting on the bench, or going to the bus stop and sitting next to the person and talking about your book and then giving them your postcard. Do something every day. I call that meeting God at the promise. Meeting your creator at the promise. Whoever your higher power or higher being is that you rely on, that you rest on. Meeting them at the promise that they've made you to give you your heart's desire. These are the steps you take. These are the action steps you take to meet God, meet your creator, meet your higher power, your higher being at the promise, because they've already done their part. You just have to meet them there, and you have to trust and believe that, okay? All righty, publicity. Don't be a best kept secret. And what I say by that is, a lot of times people love DM. Oh my gosh, people love DM. If you have any questions, DM me. No, if you have any questions, put it right here on my page. Okay, I like to answer questions publicly. I like to help people publicly, whether it's a question about my books, a question about a character in my book. Why did you have them do this? Why did you have them do that? If it's a writing question, a publishing question, I like to answer those questions publicly because I like to show my genius. I don't want to be anybody's best kept secret. That is not a compliment. I work too hard to be a whisper. I am not a whisper. I'm a boom. Y'all can hear that in me, right? I am a boom. I'm nobody's whisper, and neither should you be. We have messages within our books, within our publications that are going to touch lives, that are going to change lives, alter lives, even save lives. This is no time to be whispering. Come out with a boom, okay? Do not be a best kept secret. So make sure you're putting yourself out there. Make sure you're putting your book out there and getting the publicity that you need, stirring up the publicity you need, and answering those questions publicly. You know, ask questions and answer them publicly. Some of you, anybody who follows me on Facebook, you'll see when I ask questions, I'm not thinking about Facebook's algorithm. I'm not trying to ask questions because I want people to come on and answer it so that Facebook can put me in the algorithm. I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help. I'm here to deliver. Okay. How may I help you? You don't got to work at a fast food restaurant to say, how may I help you, and mean it and help. So when I'm asking questions and I want people to answer publicly, you know, what are your struggles you may be having? What makes you feel good as an author, as a writer? I'm coming on and I'm sharing my response publicly. I'm not telling you to DM me so I can upsell you something. Okay, that's not what we're here to do. We're here to serve. Trust me, believe me, the book sales will follow. You are a messenger, okay? You're a messenger here to deliver a message, whatever it may be. So serve publicly. That's publicity. You're getting publicity that way, okay? So that's kind of like me giving you a non-traditional, out of the box, out of the book kind of way to garner publicity. And it's also a form of inbound marketing. Okay. You're delivering information, you're giving information that will make people want to come to you for that information. All righty. So let's talk about rights. When I'm talking about rights, I'm talking about things such as foreign rights, merchandising, book club rights, the rights of your book being acquired by a book club, okay, things of that nature. For example, my children's book, The Secret Olivia Told Me, I wrote that under the name In Period Joy, so it's In Joy, different from my adult Christian fiction books, which is E period In Period Joy. So my children's book, The Secret Olivia Told Me, it was acquired by Scholastic Books, which is, you know, their book club. And in the past, I had several of my titles acquired by Black Expressions Book Club, which was the African-American version of Doubleday Book Club, both owned under the same umbrella, okay? So that's what I mean by your rights, book club rights, foreign translation rights, foreign country rights, your merchandising, t-shirts, coloring books, just what have you. So making sure you are exercising, you know your rights, okay? Making sure you know the different rights, because sometimes self-published authors don't know all of the rights that go along with the book, and therefore they don't exercise them. Now, those of us who have been traditionally published, in our contract, it lays out all the rights. So we know about the different rights. We know about the different ways the major publishing houses are making money with the books. Because did you guys know that only 70% of authors earn back their advances with traditional publishers? Only 70% of authors earn back their advances with traditional publishers, but yet they keep getting book deal after book deal after book deal after book deal. You guys know I'm transparent. I'm one of those authors. A lot of us, we don't make those huge book deals back. You just heard me mentioning my book deal earlier. Okay, it might have sounded like I was bragging, but guess what? I didn't make that book deal advance back, and 70% of authors don't. They're just not as transparent as me and tell you the truth. But let me tell you this. Why do the publishing houses keep giving us book deal after book deal after book deal, even though we don't make those rights back? Because we don't make those advance back because of the rights. Because of the rights. Trust me, the publishers are making their money. With a traditional book deal, industry standards, you're going to get around 7.5% to 8% of your standard trade paperback book off of the retail price. So if my book retails for $14.95, I'm going to get $1 or so, $1.25 or something around that area. So for every book that sells, me, the author, I'm only getting $1.25 of it. The publisher is making their money back with these rights. okay, with the book club rights, with foreign translation, with ebook, with audio, they are making their money back. Now, the authors, we may not have made that advance back, but the publisher's like, woo, yeah, they make us good money. They may not have earned this advance back we gave them, but we made ours. So that's one of the myths I love to dispel, that if you don't make your advance back, you're doomed in the industry. Oh, no, ma'am, no, sir. I repeat, 70% of traditionally published authors do not earn their advances back. And I was one of them. Now, I won't say I didn't earn all of my advances back, but you know that big one I was just hyping up a few slides ago? Didn't earn it back. But let me just tell you this. It kind of feels like a credit card debt that I don't feel good about not making that advance back. Let me tell you that. I'm not bragging about it. I just want you to know the statistics. Every time I get my royalty statement from that publisher, I feel like, oh my God, this is a debt I did not pay. I feel like I borrowed money from a family member and I've been paying on them for years. No. It feels like my student loan debt. Yes. Oh my gosh. For anybody who has had to pay back a student loan, oh my gosh. So it's not a good feeling, knowing that, you have this outstanding advance that you've yet to pay back. But at the same time, the publishing house, they know how to make their money back. Trust and believe, which again is why even those authors tend to not make their advances back, they can continue getting book deal after book deal after book deal. It's typically because of the rights. Okay, it's because of the rights. All righty, so now let's move on to publishing. Publish multiple formats. Okay, a lot of people they'll do print. They may not even do ebook. They may not even do audio. Again, it depends on what your goals are and what your measure of success is. But when I'm working with authors through consulting or publishing coaching, I'm teaching them to publish in multiple formats. And I won't go into great detail on what all of the formats are, but I will name them. We do the limited special edition. Okay, we do the hardback. We do the paperback trade. We do mass. We do audio. We do digital. Some will do large print and some will do braille. But again, it's based on the authors I work with. It's based on their goals. We determine the timeline for the release of each format, as there are pros and cons to releasing all the formats simultaneously versus staggering the releases. Okay, there are pros and cons. I've had clients who will release all the formats at once, have this huge launch. However you like to receive your information, by golly, they've just delivered it. But then I have authors who do staggered releases, okay? And when I just named all those different formats, I mean for the same book, that one book in all of these different formats, okay? So, but I will give you a hint and let you know that the limited special edition, I call that the unicorn. That's the book with all the bells and whistles. That's the hardback with the raised lettering, the gold trim pages, the satin ribbon tassel book placeholder. It's the unicorn. And I have my clients who have a standing fan base or who have a tribe and community who is going to support them, even if that book had blank pages, okay? And when you put out this unicorn, when you put out that limited special edition, because they support you, the author, not the book, we're going back to you, maximizing yourself, optimizing yourself, monetizing yourself. Because they trust, love, believe, and support you, the author, they are buying that unicorn. They are buying that limited special edition with all the bells and whistles that I've had clients charge up to $69 for and sell out. Okay? Sell out of them. Okay? So now let's go on to sales. Start selling early. I cannot express enough how you should make money from your book before it's even published. Okay? Make money from your book before you've even completed writing it. And one of the ways to do that is through a pre-order campaign. And a pre-order campaign is not making your book available for pre-order. That's making your book available for pre-order. You know, dropping Amazon links or whatever. That's making your book available for pre-order. A pre-order campaign is an all-out campaign with your team of ambassadors, your tribe, your community, putting the word out, spreading the word about your book long before, like I said, it's published, or you may not even be finished writing the book when you start your sales. Okay. So sales. Again, that's kind of a no-brainer when it comes to a step that can get you closer towards reaching your measure of financial literary success. And then finally, author task. Again, that job description. Learn your job description because, again, businesses don't make money. People do. And it's the author's job to make the money, not the book's job. Okay? It's not the book's job. The book's just going to sit there and look real pretty on the shelf. And if it doesn't get sold, the bookstore is going to send it back. It's not the book's job to sell itself. It's not even your publisher's job. You know, if you want to get really technical about it, your publisher, yes, they're a partner. They're your publishing partner, but it's your job as the author, again, to make the money for the publishing business. Okay. It's not the publisher's job. It's not the agent's job. It's not the literary consultant's job, the publishing coach's job. It is your job. Okay. That's why I wrote the book, of which is a companion to this course. I wrote it to serve as a job description. Again, being an author is a job. So if you want the job of an author, then you need to know your job description. You need to know the things you have to do to achieve your measure of success. And in doing those tasks, don't be afraid to delegate. Get help building your business. A publishing team. That's what Path to Publishing is. We're an author assistance company. We're a literary service provider, but we're a publishing team. We become your publishing team, regardless of which path to publication you choose. Whether you choose traditional publishing, self-publishing, POD publishing, partnership or collaborative publishing, also known as working with a hybrid publisher. Whether you have literary representation, your book is your business. And our job is to help you mind your business. But do not try to lay the bricks alone, even if you need to bring on your family. Okay? Allow your children to help you lay the bricks. That's what I did with my company. I found what my children's thing was. What is their thing? What were they going to college for? What did they like to do, love to do? What were they good at doing? And I had them turn that into a business so that they could help my business. Okay. So my business pays their business, which means I don't operate a family business. My family is a business. We each have a business where we're operating in our genius, and our businesses pay each other depending on what our needs are. So I'm not saying go out and hire W-2 employees or even 1099s. Start with your family. What are they great at? What are they good at? And don't pay them in, if the kids, don't pay them in Happy Meals and Forever 21 jeans. Teach them business now. Okay, 1099 them. I've been 1099ing my children since they were like 13 and 14. My youngest, my son, he got hired at 11. He's on payroll. Because I'll tell you this, I'll share this last story. I know we're, short on time, running short on time now, but he saw me hiring all my other family members. He would hear our calls, our team calls, and, hear me talking to cousin so-and-so and aunt so-and-so, or, one of his siblings. And he said, I want to work for Path to Publishing. I want to work for the company. I want a paycheck too, Mom. And I'm like, well, what do you do? What can you do? This kid takes my phone. He starts a business TikTok account for me where one of my videos has over 150,000 views. So he sets up the account. He goes onto my phone, looks at videos I have, looks at images I have. He creates a video, he creates the hashtag, and it goes live. And the kid does all of this while playing a game of Fortnite. Hello? Okay, he's showing me what he can do, and I'm like, oh my gosh, his genius is this the platforms I don't want to go on, the platforms I don't want to be on. So he does my TikTok account, he does my Snapchat, he does all of that. I mean, his account is amazing. He was 11 at the time. So don't underestimate don't underestimate the help that is already aligned and assigned right there underneath your nose, okay, in your own house. So what does financial literary success look like to you? Again, these are not rhetorical questions I'm asking you. I really would like you to take a few minutes after this course, or even pause this course, to think about and write down at least 3 things, situations, circumstances, achievements that represent what financial literary success looks like and feels like to you, okay? The feel part, oh my goodness, it's so important. I need you to be able to know not only what it looks like, but what it feels like when you achieve that thing. This is what it looks like to me, doing this, that, and the other. And my golly, this is what it feels like, or it's going to feel like. Experience it in that moment. This is another assignment, okay? This is a course. Of course, you're going to get work in the course. All right, next. Take action. Take action. You've heard me say, a goal ain't nothing without a plan. A plan ain't nothing without action. Put action to everything you write down. And this isn't engraved in stone. We're not the Flintstones here, okay? You know, your goals may change. The steps you need to take to reach your goals, all of that may change, but you need something to start with. You need to be doing something. You need to stay in action. Again, be incited to take action and stay in action. What are some of the things you are going to do to achieve financial literary success? Again, take a few minutes after this course or pause this course to think about and write down at least 3 actions. So go back to those 3 things that I asked you to write down of what financial literary success looks like to you. And underneath each of those 3 things, I want you to write 3 actions you're going to take to reach that goal, to reach that thing, okay? What are you going to do? What actions are you going to take in order to achieve your personal measure of financial literary success? This is not rhetorical. This is work. This is an assignment, because we are on an assignment. This is bigger than writing books, publishing books, distributing books, and selling books. We are on an assignment to deliver our messages to the masses so that they can touch lives, change lives, and save lives, so that our messages can make a change in whether it's someone's personal, business, financial, emotional, spiritual growth and development. We are on an assignment. So this is an assignment as part of your assignment. And that is it, my friends. Again, I hope this course has incited you to define your measure of financial literary success, and perhaps what making a living as a writer looks like to you. You should, at minimum, now have more clarity about your success as an author and be intentional about achieving your literary dreams, visions, and goals. So, what is next? Learn even more ways to achieve financial literary success by purchasing a copy of the course companion resource. You can purchase it right from the Path to Publishing website, www.path2publishing.com. The menu bar has store. If you click on the menu bar with store, you will see on the drop-down menu books, or you can just put in www.path2publishing.com/act like an author book. Okay. This is the 2021 Next Generation finalists in 3 categories. Okay. Yes, that medal you see there, that's because this is an award-winning book. It was a finalist in 3 categories, one of those categories being nonfiction, writing, and publishing resource. What's next? You can register for the companion conference. So yes, we have the Act Like an Author, Think Like a Business course, which you're in now. We have the companion book, which I just showed you on the previous slide. And we have the actual conference that actually doubles as an MBA in publishing program. It's the Path to Publishing DIY MBA in publishing program. So you can come to learn how to build your book business, and how to create multiple streams of cohesive literary income with your book business as an author, or you can master it with the MBA in Publishing program. So to learn more about the conference, you can visit www.path2publishing.com/conference. Or you can take the companion online course, okay? Make a living as a writer. This is what I teach on day 3 of the actual conference. So if you can't attend the conference and you want to get right to the meat of how to accelerate your literary career, of how to create those multiple streams of income, multiple streams of cohesive literary income leading to generational wealth, you can go right to the conference store and get the audio visual course. That's www.path2publishing.com/conference store. All righty. Okay. And if you have any questions, I just shared with you how you can email me questions. You can come over to my social media wall on social media on Facebook. You'll find me under Joylynn Ross. You can join the Path to Publishing private Facebook group. You can ask me questions there, or you can email me personally, Joylynn Ross at path2publishing.com. If you have any questions about this companion course, if you have any questions about the companion award-winning book, if you have any questions about the companion conference, if you have any questions about the companion audio visual course, which again, if you're going to attend the conference, you won't need the audio visual. I teach the exact same thing at the conference. It's really one or the other. If you can't make it to the conference live, in person, or virtual, we do offer the conference virtual as well. And it is typically every September. So you can always stay in the know by visiting the Path to Publishing website, or even signing up for our newsletter, and you'll be kept in the know on when the conference is. But if you ever have any questions about anything I've shared with you here, anything on the Path to Publishing website, please do not hesitate to reach out to me personally, Joylynn Ross at path2publishing.com. If you need a publishing team, you need Path to Publishing to be your publishing team. You need quotes on editing, book cover design, marketing, ghostwriting, any task you would need along your literary journey to help you meet your measure of literary success and financial literary success, you can email info@pathtopublishing.com, and our project manager will be glad to assist you with any quotes you may need, or find me on social media. Ask away. I am here to serve. I am absolutely here to serve. Now, someone did ask me a question. They emailed me the question prior to this course, and they wanted to know, do you have to attend the conference to buy the book? And the answer is no. You don't have to attend the conference to buy the book, and vice versa. The course stands alone, the book stands alone, the conference stands alone. I do not duplicate information. I've been in the literary industry over 23 years. I have enough information, resources, systems, strategies, tactics to go around. So none of these overlap one another. You will not be purchasing the same thing over and over. You have this course, you're going to get something different in the book. You're going to get something different at the conference, okay? The only things that do duplicate is the audio visual of day 3, make a living as a writer at the conference. But other than that, this course doesn't overlap the book, and the book does not overlap the information that you will receive at the conference. You get all new, fresh content, information, tools, and resources. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time out to attend this course. And I'm going to thank you in advance for answering the questions, for doing the assignment, for doing the assignments within this course, because remember, you are on assignment. So thank you so much. I'm wishing you continued literary and financial literary success.